Imagine if you never heard of Attack on Titan. Imagine you never see what the content. And you look at that magazine cover. What a lie! It felt like forever since we have last seen a chapter. It's probably the most thrilling follow-up yet in this series. It's likely due to the ending hype and the crazy cliffhanger with a flying head, not to mention endless theories from fans on where do we go next. One thing for certain, someone got it right. Can't say the same for the following scene that really captivated me, and it's not over yet. The chapter wasn't all I expected, but I would gladly take this direction with its tense psychological duel. My anticipation to see the follow-up was beyond the scale. I can tell with my chilling feeling when turning a page. Either I was scared to know the truth or scared for the inevitable. Before the answer, the flashback does serve a great symbolic between Eren and Zeke, and it is done with catching baseball. They may be brothers, but Eren dropped or missed the ball, which in my opinion symbolized their trust. On one hand, you can argue that it is a sign of one will die, which is Eren. However, recalling Zeke's time with Tom, they always caught the ball as they are in the same page. Eren missing the ball strongly suggested that they are not. It is reinforced when Eren basically lied about him feeling weak. Trust lies on the ball. It's definitely proven to be true, but we'll get to that soon. It's a great start to a thrilling chapter that will ultimately represent the theme. It goes into a great morbid montage of an epic warfare. It's a tense sensation that no innocent will want to be part of. You have Braun's family in hiding, Marley's men's dying and devoured by titans. Plenty of ongoing battles, including Mikasa and army taking on Cart Titan. And to top it all off, decapitated Eren. What a nice sight of hell. Tons of theories were going around for a month. Did Eren alter the memories? Will he go back in time? Is he hiding somewhere? The answer is what you see. He legitimately lost his head. Well, I guess we're at the end of the series. This is the true endgame. But Zeke catches it in time. And yes, the magic touch has come through. Well, that's a good call on fans' prediction. I mean, it makes sense. I just didn't know where it was flying to. It probably fly to the left side or the right side. It went forward to Zeke's location. So good call on that. The whole moment was breathtaking. It's probably because of no dialogues, which created a morbid sensation. It has the endgame feel to it as well. We don't know if this is the last action phase, though I doubt it. I can't imagine what the final battle will be like. The catch felt so real. The past chapters played off as the defining moment, and I certainly believed it. It's even bone-chilling to see the collection of memories scattering over 2 pages. Some are Eren's, some are not. There are few that may not have shown yet for us fans, but we may learn really soon. The sight of paths is rather mesmerizing. I know it's a simple beam of light, but the emphasis on that solo page brings out the magnitude of its atmosphere. It's where everything will change forever, and it all comes down to Eren. Zeke is also there, but looks older. Apparently the time within differs from outside world. Probably years have gone by for all we know. Zeke did confirm that he made contact in time before Eren died. I assume that means he is really dead. Huh. However, it's still possible for him to be resurrected by Ymir. My only concern is, what is happening outside right now as we speak? Losing his head might not only be done for shock value, but a reason to skip time. It depends on the path, no pun intended. Ymir, the founder, emerges, and Zeke assures Eren that it's her. It's quite telling that Eren learned about her background from Zeke, and the one that stood out the most to him is her loneliness. It's true that anyone would be shocked and perhaps awed to hear a little girl in sadness, but he just heard many things connected to Titans, yet only that one he reacted to is perhaps a contrast to where Zeke was more amazed by her connection while Eren was more on her being. Zeke is chained by vow of renouncing war, so he leaves Eren to do the final act, the final plead to save the world. Well, I got bad news for you, Zeke. Karma just keeps on coming, thanks to Army and his recollection of subtle hints to Eren's true attention. It feels so satisfying when Eren finally comes clean and backstabs Zeke. I can't lie, but I was fooled by his act earlier. Some parts did show signs of hidden agenda, but his act was very convincing. Now, I am so damn happy for his betrayal. With that said, he still didn't reveal his main goal, only desire for Ymir to share her power. Plus, we still need to know what he really saw in Memory's trip, including the supposedly truth of Ackerman. In due time, I can enjoy yet somewhat sympathize with Zeke weeping. His only family had double-crossed him. It's all over for him. Or so I thought. In this series fashion, no twist is limited to one alone. Add a twist on top of that twist, and what do you get? The real twist. In a sense, Ymir denies Eren and favors for Zeke. I didn't see that coming. The real twist is Ymir is actually a slave to royal blood. And guess who has it? That's right, the one and only Zeke. Zeke has pulled a counter trap card, or how fans will call it, a reverse card. Man, I miss playing Uno. This finally explains the reason for Zeke's revival. This series is known to have every moment count. Have he not underwent the first time, he wouldn't have understood everything. In his second trip, so to say, he obtained many details, employ an act to see if Eren is truly on his side. Otherwise, Zeke probably weep and witness the downfall entirely. This creates for an exciting development. We are back to protagonist versus antagonist, and that's not a bad thing. Also, the two sides can finally go head to head, I think that's no pun intended, in a thrilling psychological duel. It's interesting that despite the betrayal, Zeke is willing to go through one last attempt to bring his little brother to his side. I'm glad that he didn't go out of his way and become cartoony villain with evil laugh like and betray his character. It makes the most sense for him to try to convert because he is the only family he has left. His backstory and thought process complement his character. It speaks true brotherhood, which is ironic because Eren, who is like the good guy even though his action is questionable, but you know how it is, doesn't see him that way. The one way to try to convince Eren is to present Grisha as a madman. This time, his life behind the walls. I'm amazed how much of a character Grisha has shown without being alive. Kudos to Isayama to remind the fans of his relevancy. It's also amazing how much detail we continue to learn about the past that we thought we have seen enough. Eren and Zeke travel back in time to the moment when Eren was born. The vision presents the scene as one big happy family. Zeke congrats Eren's birth, but he holds bare grudge against his father. It speaks volume how much he detested him to this day. Eren, on the other hand, speaks for those who truly love their family. That look on his face watching his family tells everything. It's a sincere moment that shows two reactions from two sons. Fans have wondered how Grisha discovered the Founding Titan's location. Thanks to Paths with his memory trip, we finally received the answer, and it's under our noses in a sense. It's due to his status as a doctor that granted him an opportunity to travel and seek for those who has connection. This gives Zeke the firepower to convince Eren that their father was always selfish and cruel, putting his mission over his family. Eren looks to be convinced, but it's more of what Zeke wanted to hear. It's really neat to see a montage of Grisha's time as a family man. We have seen the plot points, but hardly in a slice of life scenario. There are best of times, there are worst of times. I always appreciate the cameo of Kenny in these past scenes. By this point, I still didn't like Grisha and how he was too prideful to fulfill self-created destiny. I made that clear in one of my past reviews, but these moments did grant us to see more of his human and normal self colliding with his mission. Then, the scene that should have been the definitive strike happens, and Zeke definitely converts someone's opinion. But it's not Eren's. Grisha's discovered the Founding Titan's location years before the start of the series. This could have been a "I told you so" moment. By that, I mean this will prove Zeke is right. Grisha struggled to decide on what to do next. It's like a video game. You have two choices, and one will guarantee a path, defer another. However, there's no return, and I'm not including New Game Plus. If we go by that logic, the Dark or Renegade path will be going inside the basement. The Light or Paragon path will be ignore it. It was that moment that changed my mind on Grisha. He actually put his family first above his mission. In other words, he was a changed man. This speaks tons of volume. In fact, it lined up really well with every moment with him. My impression was that he never really changed and always came off as a stubborn, prideful man. Even the last moment with him and Shadis felt ominous, like he was really sinister. Now, the impression I have is he really did change for the better. It's just unfortunate when the wall broke down, the thought of the mission returned heavily. The way I see it is similar to Reiner, both living a new life and a better one at that. The only difference is Reiner was progressing his mission, but slowly, really slowly. However, both took their time and enjoyed what they had. Once tragic or a reminder struck, it came races through their head. Both can't escape the past and must pay the price. Grisha was hit hard when his wife died, so he charged to the King of the Wall's base, and the story of Eren begins. This is my assumption, and it's possible that the next chapter will reveal more of his side of the story, but I believe this is the case. This would paint him as a man who went through a redemption phase. If so, I'm glad to be wrong on his character. Yes, his past self was pretty awful, but if one can learn, a second chance can appear. Speaking of the past, an interesting element rises up once again, and by that, I mean the possible interference within the memory. Kruger left an ominous message about Army and Mikasa, even though he never met them. That scene has been driving fans crazy. Hell, when the anime happened again, I actually just remember and I was like, oh crap, that's right, this plot. It's so damn confusing. But hey, it looks like the answer is upon us. Grisha woke up and believed he saw Zeke, but not from a memory bank, but in his current design, beard and all. In other words, he's seeing what we actually see in ourselves. Undoubtedly, a what the hell moment. On top of that, Grisha was dreaming something where he was apologizing Zeke for his mistake, further proving his redemption arc was complete. This raised plenty of questions. Was Zeke's present alternating the past? Was it like that beforehand? This reminds me of Game of Thrones, where a character was interfering in the past and ultimately changed someone for the present. So, I wonder who will be the guy to hold the door. One fan would suggest that perhaps Eren is manipulating the scene to convince Zeke that he's wrong. I don't think so. I believe what we see is what really happened before. I believe Eren knows everything. He takes the control, so to speak, to tour Zeke to see where he was wrong, and why Eren won't change his mind is a very intriguing development, and a clever use of uncovering all remaining pieces of Grisha's past. Overall, this chapter may be confusing at first, but surely all answer will come, and the pathway of his memory trip will make everything sense. The idea is the two brothers are in psychological warfare. With that said, it was pretty compelling. I thought once the touch was made, it's immediately game over. But this direction is more intriguing and insightful. Eventually, it will lead to the world-changing event. It abruptly ended with Eren ready to show the next phase. Whoever wins, the future will be set. And that would do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. I do think one of the outcome, if Eren were to win, he will probably try to convince Zeke to give him a new body or pretty much reconstruct his body. Because if Zeke were to win and Eren won't change his mind, I don't see Eren coming back to life. Remember, Ymir is a slave to the royal blood. So basically, Zeke has it in control. It's up to Eren to change his mind. What do you think of this chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.